My love!
My darling.
I've hungered for your touch. A long, lonely time. And time goes by so slowly. And time can do so much. Hello, welcome to The Experience. I'm Douglas Flamino. And today you will see here my 30-day attempts trying to learn ceramics, shaping clay, making art with mud. I'm not sure what you want to call it, but before the video continues, please leave a like, that would make me happy. And comment Pocahontas. It's really important. Well, this experience was suggested by a friend of mine. He became a ceramist because his friend knew a lot about ceramics. He said, hey, why not learn ceramics? I replied, cool, let's do it. Then he gave me the contact, and that's how I increased my friends with specific skills. I have a lot of friends with specific skills because of this channel, and I'm very grateful for that. And then the proposal was made to Lucas, who was my ceramist friend that helped me with this video. From my first conversations with Lucas, my ceramist friend, I realized that it was a very complicated art. It wasn't as simple as it seems. If you've ever seen people at the wheel handling clay and shaping it, making jars, making cups, it's harder than you think, okay?
I'm going to teach you here the ram's head technique.
Ram's head?
Yeah, why do we need it? We need it to remove the bubbles. Before going to the wheel, we have to remove all the bubbles that might be inside this clay. You grab it from the sides and it starts forming a spiral that looks just like a ram's head. See this bubble here?
Yes.
This spiral movement that the dough makes causes all the bubbles to burst right here. Ideally, we should do this at least 50 times. You can push it, you don't need to twist it, because it will twist on its own.
Do I push it diagonally?
That's right, and always compacting the sides, so it doesn't, this here, we don't want...
Just for the record, this is really tiring. On the day you don't want to do cardio, go knead some clay.
Hold it. We're going to have to raise this clay as much as we can and lower it so we can start centering it. So here in opposition, and as I raise it, my dominant hand takes the lead. And the assisting hand, it serves as the base. I get up here, press this part down well, switch my hand, because in my case, my left hand is dominant. And I push this dough forward, and it goes down, 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 until I can't push it forward anymore. I use both my hands, push it forward, and downward. And it goes in the center. And here I have the clay in the center. Okay, that's it. You grab it and try to center it as much as possible. Give it a little tap, that's it. Now you're going to tap it a few times and spin it just with your hand. To the other side, keep spinning the wheel. That's it, keep tapping it like that, spinning it to secure it. That's it, just like that, to really secure it. First, and spin it. Wet this one.
Here, the line, down here, right?
Yeah, that's it. Give it just a little press down there at the bottom to make sure it's secure. We're not gonna touch the base, okay? Maintain a steady speed by keeping your foot on the gas pedal. The exercise is to ensure your foot stays on the pedal. So now you're going to start from the bottom and you're going to lift that mass, bring it up. And whenever you feel the need, you'll grab your little sponge and clean. The turntable platter and the record, right? Another thing we have to avoid is exactly this here. Look, we don't want this depression because it's going to form a bubble. So you can compact this top part. Take some water and compact it with your thumb like this. Look, just like this. You're going to grab it and make a movement. compacting here like this. Be careful with that little hole there. It's almost in the center now, see?
I see it.
So now we're going to go down, that's it.
I did it.
You did it. But I need you to feel confident and secure about this process, especially when going up. It's different doing this with 1 or 1.2 kilos than with 4 kilos.
Wow, that's even tiring, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets tiring a lot. The wheel constantly needs water and lubrication.
There are some odd conversations here. One thing I have to admit is that in the first few weeks learning with Lucas, I felt a bit insecure about what kind of results I would be able to show you in the video. Even though I've already made several other videos here being 100% transparent where I had bad results. About the things where I tried to show my 30-day learning process. I don't like it. It's very unpleasant for me to do something for 30 days. And on the 30th day, it's still terrible. So regarding that, I have no problem showing you a bad result, but I don't like it. I don't like it for myself, not for show. Like, even if the video wasn't made, I would look at it and say, damn, 30 days just to get this? And after many days learning how to center the clay on the wheel, the next stage arrived. That's what Lucas is showing there. How to cut this small ball is the next step for several pieces. Now it's my turn. And you guys are gonna get really confused sometimes because Lucas wears clothes that are very similar to mine. So sometimes it's hard to tell when it's me at the wheel and when it's him. I was already able to center the clay more easily and even managed to cut the first ball with a certain ease. It wasn't that complicated. The ceramic process must be repeated often to reach perfection, though perfection may not exist. Because look how many times I had to repeat it and it still turned out ugly. From the beginning of the process, Lucas emphasized a lot how important it is to repeat the initial steps, like centering the clay. I did this many times until I felt confident that I could do it a little faster. And then, at a certain point, Lucas said, "Today I'm going to teach another centering technique." So you do the 180 degrees here, right?
That's it. Rest your elbow on your hip.
Just for the record, in the first days, I would go to Lucas's studio, and I would spend about 3 hours there every day at first, just practicing centering the other way. And now, with this new technique, that's how long it's taking, see?
It's going to come up here. It went up, but it's centered.
Wow, that's it. Already?
Yeah. Sorry for making you suffer. But it was necessary.
And after the little ball, the next step is to poke a hole in the ball and pull it up, raising the sides of the ball, forming a cylinder. From the cylinder shape, you can make several different pieces, so it's really interesting. You're very precise in this part of the cylinder, and from my point of view, it was the hardest part to get precise. It's very easy to mess up this cylinder. Well, that was my first attempt at making the cylinder. As you saw, I already messed up drilling the little ball. This part is very delicate. It's very easy to lose the centering, as you can see there. The piece is kind of shaking. He told me to remove it since it wouldn't work. I repeated this several times until I finally got one right. Why do I say more or less? Because the cylinder might look pretty straight on the outside, but we need to try to get the wall thickness right, and to find that out, we need to cut the piece in half. So I made a lot of pieces and kept cutting them in half until I realized I was starting to get the wall thickness pattern right. It's actually a pretty sad part. You make the piece and you have to destroy it to know if you got it right. And finally we get to the part I like the most, which is the finishing part. Here, Lucas is showing how to use this tool. It's called the caliper. It's used to measure the little foot. There's also this holder that secures the piece, but if you don't have one of these holders, we stick on 3 pieces of clay. Those are the finishing tools, but we never actually use that many tools. I think I used at most 3 finishing tools. And in the finishing process, we focus on 2 things. At least for this type of piece we're making here. We focus on the foot, on adjusting the foot, making it look nice, and adjusting the wall thickness. Even though it's the process I consider the easiest to do, you have to pay close attention because you can ruin the piece at this finishing stage. If we did the initial process well, we don't have to remove so much clay. But if we did a sloppy initial process, we end up having to fix a lot of things during the finishing. And then it turns into wasted clay, right? Not that it's really wasted, because you can recycle it, but it's extra work. So Lucas taught me to make the piece as honest as possible, so I don't have to fix so many mistakes during the finishing, you know, the final touches. It's looking really nice. Wow, we spent a month making a piece that Lucas would make in 45 seconds. Now here are the ones I'm going to set out to dry, to fire, right? To
fire.
And now let's put them in the oven. We'll glaze them and bake again. The process is slow and a lot of work. The signatures.
Turn it more this way.
This is the electric oven. For the first firing, we'll do a bisque firing up to 1000 degrees. It will take about 9.5 to 10 hours of firing.
At 1000 degrees?
It will reach 1000 degrees during the initial low temperature firing.
And the high one?
Remove the bisque fired piece. The high temperature firing will reach 1260.
Wow.
So the kiln, we will layer the assembly, okay? This shelf is where you'll fire your pieces. Just place and spread them out here.
Wow, you can fire many pieces at once.
You can even place them upside down.
Oh, with the opening facing up.
That's right, yeah, with the base facing up.
Wow, finally this moment.
Yeah, so it's here.
And then it's going to reach the cookie point, right?
We're going to take it out at the cookie point, which is a point where the dough is still porous enough to receive the glaze layer, and then go back for the high temperature firing.
Ah, I see.
Okay?
How much does an oven like that cost?
Man, a ceramic oven can vary a lot depending on the brand, if it's imported or made here. It starts at about 17 or 18,000 rays and can reach 50 or 60,000.
Wow.
Around 100, 200. Then
it also depends on the size.
it depends on the size, it depends on the brand. Well, so we have 6 examples here of nail polishes that I have here at the bungalow. These nail polishes have already been tested several times. They're very stable. The colors are really interesting, and they are exactly glazed on this clay. This is the terracotta you use, right? I just wanted to explain a bit about the glazes. They will behave differently depending on the angles of the pieces, depending on the number of layers. So, for example, I brought some examples here of some pieces that were glazed with this glaze here, which is a glaze I call Bungalow, which is the name of my studio.
Did you create it? Yes.
Yes, I made this glaze. When 2 friends and I created these 6 glazes, we did a series of tests. The smoother the piece is, the less blue it will show, you see? So it ends up with a more leaning towards ochre. Now, if it's a bigger piece, it starts to show another color here. In the part where the glaze accumulates a bit more, if it's a more open piece, it starts to get bluer.
These were the 2 glaze colors I chose for my pieces. Making the glaze is also really cool. It gives you a lot of creative freedom to think about how to mix colors. This final process has a very important detail, which is cleaning the bottom of the piece, because otherwise the piece will end up sticking. That can totally ruin the piece. Actually, I think every stage of making a piece has important parts that can go wrong if you do it incorrectly. So you have to be very attentive at all times. And this is the final result of the pieces I made during this 30-day process. I was very satisfied. I thought the pieces were very beautiful. The glaze matched really well. These are pieces that I'll keep here at home now, and every time I look at them, I'll feel very proud of this work. For those serious about the business, there's potential to earn money. The initial investment is high, but profit is possible. That's it. My little pieces are finished. As much as I like them, Lucas said they're crap.
I would never say that.
I'm just kidding. Lucas, I don't know if he's going to continue his life teaching this. If you're interested in this field, I'll share his Instagram so you can contact him. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Douglas.
I'm very satisfied with the result. I expected it to turn out badly.
No problem.
At first I thought that way, but after arriving, I saw how complex and difficult it was. I said, wow, in 30 days this is going to be a mess. I'm not able to center the clay in the middle of this thing. But it turned out really well. I'm really happy.
I was happy with the result and thought it was a cool experience. And Man, you can see here, the pieces are really good. They're quality ceramic pieces. I think that in 30 days, 28, 29 days, you reached a pretty interesting level. Now it's just about refining and improving. It turned out really well.
Are these pieces here going to be available at the event you're going to?
Yes, they'll be in Cunha. It's going to be during the Corpus Christi holiday. There's going to be the Cunha festival, and these pieces will be available there, these and others as well.
If you search on the internet for Cunha Festival ceramics, does it show up?
Yes, everything is there. On Google, it should have all the information.
Well, in the end, it was a really cool new skill to acquire. Doing manual work is a really good therapy. I really liked it. I really enjoyed learning ceramics, even though it's something difficult to learn and you make a lot more mistakes than you get things right. It's still like therapy and enjoyable. One thing I realized after this experience is that I can't look at a piece of pottery the same way anymore. It's not that I'm looking with judgment, but I look with more appreciation because I know how hard it is to make that. And many times I look with pride, like I could make a piece like that. Well, if you enjoyed this experience, leave a like here. It will really help my work, and comment what you liked.
Let me know what you'd like to see in future videos. I value your suggestions for the channel. See you in the next experience.
Goes by. So slowly. And time can do so much. Put more air here. That's it. Oh, my love. But let's do this.